have to develop your own way of dealing with sin. You have to find a system, a coping mechanism. Plan ahead when you sin. Be wise about it, which is being spiritual. Use your brain. And if your whole image is built on you not sinning, then when you sin, it can cause a lot of psychological damage, because now you have built your whole identity on you being perfect. And the moment you're not perfect, you will eat yourself up. And the people will eat you up too.
Changing oil, nothing too serious. Gotta change the headlights as well, but ain't nothing I can't do. So I was thinking, it's difficult to be a Christian, and fellow Christians don't even make it easy for us, right? I think we should change the way we view sin. We should approach it with an objective perspective, even scientific perspective, right? Instead of feeling guilty and shame all the time, we should just accept what the scriptures say about us, that we're evil, and that when we say we don't sin, we're liars. And so when we do sin, that way we don't get too carried away with it, because we expect it. John, the letters of John. If you say you're not a sinner, then you call God a liar. But if you confess your sins, then God will forgive you. And most Christians, from my perspective, is we act as though we don't sin. It's not that we act. Some of us actually do try our very best not to sin. And when we do sin, we fall into despair. But if we accept what the scriptures say about us, if we accept the diagnosis of what the scriptures say about us, that we're sinful, then when we sin, it's less surprising. And we don't dwell on it as much. So it becomes more like a mathematical equation, right? You have to develop your own way of dealing with sin. You sin, you view objectively what happened, you come up with a plan on how to do better in the future, and then you go about it. But then when you sin again, you view it again as a mathematical equation, something that you figure out. Okay, whatever, I sinned. You look at it, you analyze, you figure out, you plug in and out, you find where the X is supposed to be. You find out what the X is. It becomes less emotional. So when I sin, yeah, whatever, I sinned. News, right? Yeah, I sinned. But if I have this mentality where it's like, I can't sin, and when you finally sin, it might crush you like it used to crush me. The point I'm trying to make here is, we have to find ways to feel less guilty and less shame when we sin. Because it's not if we sin, it's when we sin, right? You have to find a system, a coping mechanism. You have to plan ahead when you sin. That's why I am an advocate, or at the very least I want to develop this radical idea of how to approach sin. Just be wise about it, which is being spiritual. Use your brain. If you find yourself sinning at night, then okay, at night is part of the problem. Then you change that environment. If you find yourself sinning around some type of people, plug them out. Take them out of your life, right? So it's this mindset of trying to figure out, okay, I sinned, what went wrong? And then you sin again, you analyze objectively, like, okay, this happened. Okay, and then you plug out the parts that caused the sin. I gotta go back to work. I think if we develop that idea, it will be very helpful for us. Instead of just being perfectionistic, if that is even a word, we should try to be realistic sometimes, because it's not about if we're going to sin, it's about when we sin. And if your whole image is built on you not sinning, then when you sin, it can cause a lot of psychological damage, because now you have built your whole identity on you being perfect. And the moment you're not perfect, you will eat yourself up. And the people will eat you up too. I try to think of this. Imagine a girl that goes to choir, and then people find out she got pregnant. Of course, it's not her husband, right? She's still young or whatever. The immediate reaction is to eat her up. Like, oh, you're supposed to be held to a higher standard, blah, 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 like you're not supposed to sin, but I'm tenga in them, you know, stuff like that. In reality is like, bro, like you ain't never done nothing. And I think this is what people mean when they say religious trauma. People that support them, the people that are supposed to support them at the very least, become very critical of every single thing they do. And it just becomes hard for them to continue. And they use that as hate for Christ. You know, now people is hating Christ, not because they actually hate Christ, but because they hate Christians. I go ahead and hate Christians. It don't bother me. You can hate me. I'm a Christian. Be the first to hate me. I don't mind. But have a very good reason to hate Christ. Don't hate Christ because of Christians. I'll probably develop this idea later. There will be a part 2 for this one for sure. But it's an idea that's been running around my head that I should just, I don't know. But I gotta go.